Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Jenny Cook, and this is my colleague Helen Westbrook. And your names are?
Ottavia Rossini.
My name is Hannah Fatima.
Can I have your mark sheets, please?
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, we'd like to know something about you. Where are you from, Ottavia?
I'm from Italy, Milan. This is a city in the north part.
And you, Hannah?
I come from Lyon, which is in France.
And what do you like about living in Lyon?
I live in downtown of Lyon, so that's very nice. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I can go shopping, and I can go to the cinema. And all my friends live like close to me, so that's cool.
And what do you like about living in Milan?
Milan is a big city with shops and cinemas and whatever you want. And I live really near the center, so I can really do what I want with all my friends.
Do you like watching television, Ottavia?
Yes, sometimes, not all the day, because it could get boring. And I like some channels like MTV, that's for teenagers.
Thank you. Hannah, are you interested in sport?
Yeah, I play tennis, because all my family play tennis, and so I play. And my sister is the champion of France, so it's a very big custom in my family.
Thank you. And Ottavia, is there a sport you'd really like to try?
Yes, I really would like to try kite surfing. I think, because it's like flying without being on a plane, I think.
And Hannah, do you enjoy reading?
Yes, I enjoy, but when I have to read books that I don't like, it can be very boring. So it depends of the book.
What sort of books do you read?
I like French books, like Le Rouge et le Noir, and all the classical things. It's cool.
Right. Thank you. In this part of the test, I'm going to give each of you 2 photographs. I'd like you to talk about your photographs on your own for about a minute, and also to answer a short question about your partner's photographs. Ottavia, it's your turn first. Here are your photographs. They show people communicating in different ways. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say why you think the people have chosen to communicate in these different ways.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. In the first picture we can see friends talking in a bar, I think so. And in the second one, only 2 girls laughing with cell phones in their hands. And I think the first picture, they're friends that went out together and they speak while they're eating, and they chose it to speak, and they seem happy. And in the second one, they're laughing, but they're not really speaking to each other. They're speaking with other people they don't see, but at the same time they're speaking with each other. And they're laughing, but maybe not for the same reason, because it doesn't seem like. And in the first picture, the girls are drinking and eating, and they seem really interested in what they're saying.
Thank you. Can I have the book, please? Hannah, do you use the internet to talk to your friends?
Yeah, a lot, because I travel a lot, so I've got friends all around the world. And so I have Facebook, and that's easier to speak to them. That's very cool.
Thank you. Well, now, Hannah, here are your photographs. They show people learning to do different things. I'd like you to compare the photographs and say what the people might find difficult about learning to do these different things. All right?
Okay. On the top pictures, there are people in a ski resort. They are learning to ski because there is a teacher, and there are like many of them. On the other pictures, they are in a kitchen. They're cooking, and they learn how to cook with a teacher also. On the first picture, they might find difficult to deal with the speed and to learn how to have a great balance on the ski. And on the other pictures, they might find difficult to put the right ingredients in the bowls and the right amounts of ingredients. On the first picture, this is outside, so it's not the same feeling. And on the others, they're like very close, so they can speak. And
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Thank you. Ottavia, do you like cooking?
Yes, I usually cook with my mother, sometimes cakes for birthdays, not every day, but it happens.
Right. Thank you. Well, now I'd like you to talk about something together for about 3 minutes. I'd like you to imagine that a school is planning a short trip to another country to help the students to learn about life there. Here are some things that the students could do during the trip. First, talk to each other about how these different things could help the students to learn about life in another country. Then decide which two would be most useful for the students. All right?
Here, there are some students like in a market, I think.
yeah,
They're watching souvenirs, and I think they're in an oriental place because there's some thing.
yeah. And I think
What do you
that's
think?
very useful to go in these kind of markets, because that's very typical and that shows the typical things that we have in the country.
But don't you think it's like they don't get contact to inhabitants of that country, so they don't know how they
Yeah,
live?
so that's not the most useful thing to do. I think this is very nice to go in a host family, because that's the best way you learn how the people live in the country, like you, their customs and all the things they do.
But I think also visiting like the museums shows you the history and how.
Yeah, but
and
like
why.
in the museum there are things and pieces of art that come from all the countries of the world. So that's not typical from a country,
but
you know.
It could show you how the history evolved and how it got to this point.
Yeah, but you have museums and they're like all the same in all the country. So
That's also true. And going to a theater, would it be like nice or helpful?
yeah, that's nice, and like that's a good way to learn the language. But that's the same. We all have the same theaters in all over the world. So
But I think like in London, it's usual to go to see a musical like Mamma Mia, or
yeah,
so it would be like
yeah, that's
also sightseeing. I really like it because you see the view and all the
yeah.
important things.
They're on the bus, I think so. Like
Yeah,
yeah, and they're like doing all the
trip.
way to.
And what?
Yeah, that's cool because you really see the view in the country, and so you do a trip like all around the city, and that's very nice and very important to discover the city, I think.
I think going to a football match is not so useful because you only look at people throwing a ball.
Yeah, and
You
but
don't-
that's because in some of the country, football is like very important. So, like the inhabitants must be very interested in that's like a custom or something to go to a football match. So that can be interesting.
Maybe.
And that is people working in school.
I think it's useful if you go in
Yeah.
a school in that country, but if you study the country from the country where you live and you study like the language and the custom, it's not so useful because you will not learn it like properly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I have the booklet, please? Ottavia, have you ever been on a school trip like this?
Yes, I've been visiting a lot of cities in Germany, like Frankfurt or München, Monaco. And it was really nice, and I really enjoyed it.
What did you do while you were there?
Mostly we've seen sites, but we've also been to families and school there. So it was really helpful.
And Hannah?
Yeah, I'm in a bilingual class, so every year we do a trip. I went to New York, Chicago, and Sevenoaks in England. And every time we go in a host family, and all the family have a student who is the same age as us, so that's very nice.
And Hannah, do you think trips like this are really useful for students?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to learn a language or something, because like 2 weeks in a country, like you learn more than 6 months in the school. So,
What do you think, Ottavia?
I think she said the right thing, because it really helps because you speak with people. But if you go in a school trip, it could be that you always stay with your friends, so you don't really learn the language. But as she goes in a hosting family. It's a good way.
Do you think it's important for people to visit other countries?
yeah, because if you visited a lot of countries, you learn all of the ways to think about the inhabitants, and so you're going to become more open-minded, and that's very important. I think so.
I think visiting our country is very important, because then you can know why people think about something in that way. Because the way they live in their country shows how they're going to think about something.
Thank you. Do you think it's a good idea for young people to go and live in another country for a while?
Yes.
Yeah.
Next year I'm going to go to a college in Germany for 6 months, and I think that's going to help me not only with the language but also with knowing how they live there,
Yes.
custom.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I really want to move like to Italy, to Spain, or to England. I think I would so much like that. So.
And what do you think people could find interesting about life in France?
Like French culture is so big. Like this is a real beautiful country. I think so. There are so much things to do there, like museums, and the food, the views. There are the mountains, there are the sea, there are plains. There are so many things to do there.
And in Italy?
I think the most beautiful thing in Italy is the seaside and the views, but also the food that is really known. And the people are they're different as in the whole world, I think. They're really unique.
Thank you. That is the end of the test.
Okay.
Okay.